Welcome back, guys, to Horizon Forbidden West, where last episode, having returned to Meridian, Aloy checked out the shell that contained the defeated Hades, only to learn of its escape and suspecting Silence complicity in it. Climbing the spire to its peak to confirm her fears, as Silence made contact, taunting her and telling Aloy to find him to learn what he has. With the Sun King then appearing to present Aloy with the gifts meant to be given for helping save Meridian, we stopped to talk to some of our friends before securing a possible way into the Forbidden West, retiring for the night before ditching a sleeping Val and making the journey alone once more.
Sparks to steel. Never seen anyone use one of those to get around.
Is that how I get to Barren Light?
Yes, I mean usually, but not today. Not yet.
And why is that?
Well, the Daunt. The whole valley. It's infested with machines.
I can handle machines.
Oh, I'm sure you can, but I'm under strict orders not to operate until the whistle down at Chainscrape sounds the all clear.
Look, I didn't come all this way just to stand around and wait. I'll crank that car down myself if I have to.
Well, but then who would crank it back up? Fine. Though, should anyone ask, it might be best to say you forced me.
I see smoke, but not a lot of activity.
Smoke's probably coming from something the machines wrecked. As for the quiet, well, there's a work stoppage in effect because of all the fuss.
What sort of machines are causing the trouble?
Nasty ones and lots of them. Bristlebacks, they're called. Strangeness is, they're not native to the Daunt. Just showed up, all of a sudden.
No hunters to kill them?
Well, we've got hunters, just none that want to cross Ulvund. Boss of Chainscrape. He is self-appointed. Work stoppage was his idea.
Yeah, well, I'm just passing through. Got an embassy to attend.
You should have said. That ain't gonna happen no time soon.
What are you talking about?
Hear that? That's your answer.
Who is that?
Karh's Sun Priest. Cranked him down yesterday, about an hour before the machine trouble started. He's a very important man, or so he says. That embassy at Barren Light, he's the one supposed to run it. Ha!
Great.
If you don't do as I say immediately, the Sun King himself shall hear of your insolence. Thanks to you, I was forced to spend the night shivering in the tent. Exposed to attack, I might have died. Oh, me you refuse to transport, but not this... what? This Nora girl? This savage? Besides, scallywag.
Wadis. That's Aloy.
Studious Wadis.
Aloy, you know, savior of Meridian.
Really? Well, that lessens the insult, I suppose.
I came here for the embassy at Barren Light. Way I hear it, so did you.
Well, not with the valley infested. And so did Ahriman proclaim the Sun Priests most precious and worthy of safekeeping. See? Scripture. I shall head to Barren Light when the captain of the Vanguard tells me the way is clear, and not a moment sooner.
Fine. Captain's a friend of mine, you know? Where is Erend? Wouldn't mind speaking to someone a little more action, a little less scroll.
Wadis.
Studious Wadis.
Studious Waddy sent Aaron and another vanguard out at daybreak to clear the way.
And so at daybreak...
Hey! Shh. Down the valley, then?
Yeah, said they checked the ruins on the left bank for tracks. Take it from there.
Okay. I hear there's a work stoppage. Any way to upgrade my gear?
I'll bet the smith in Chainscrape would let you use his workbench. As for the bristlebacks, you might want to craft some acid arrows. Hitting their canisters with those will take them down quick.
Thanks. I'll find Aaron and I'll bring him back. Hey! Where do you think you're going?
What, to the top of the ridge? To wait in safety?
Sorry. Operator's under strict orders. No passengers till the whistle blows, right?
That's right. Best start cranking.
Why? Why?
Jorf, would you kindly escort Studious to Chainscrape and wait for me there?
You got it.
I will find Aaron, and I will help clear a path. But after that, no more excuses. Barren Light. Embassy.
If such be the will of the sun.
It will be. Trust me.
The issue is, we've met with someone who's even more self-important jerk-offish in the studious guy there. But Aloy's being that too. Literally got the guy to, like, break the rules and take her down. Just like, I'm more important than you, do what I say. And then was confronted with the exact same kind of, well, a little bit more, but yeah.
I gotta find Aaron. But it might be good to hit Chainscrape first and upgrade my bow.
It is true that Aloy has done a bit more than this guy, mind you.
If you'll excuse me, I need to contemplate.
I'll get us packed up and move us along.
That's a lot of pack. Hello, hello. I see a scroll. Commander's Mandate. A short scroll of parchment with an official seal. By mandate of Commander Nozar, all residents of the Daunt are herewith informed of the following. The gates between Barren Light and No Man's Land are hereby ordered shut and sealed in expectation of the imminent embassy. None are allowed passage either way until further notice. No exceptions will be made regardless of clan, house, or tribe. Based on previous grievances and misunderstandings, let it be clear that no exceptions will be made for the Osram either. Any outstanding arrangements made pertaining to passage are hereby declared postponed or void, depending on the nature and timing of the arrangement. No exceptions will be made. Again, to eliminate any doubts should they remain, all of the above pertains to the Osram regardless of circumstances, excuses, or so-called binding contracts. Any complaints and or restitutions, if at all applicable, can be addressed to Captain Lawan, my second-in-command. Signed in the light of the sun, Nozar Alin Kruvaman, Commander of Barren Light. It's weird, because of course we've just finished Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm super paranoid whenever I take items with thing of hitting my item with it. Whereas I don't even know what that is. Wait, is there not one now? I don't know. I can't see a number. I mean, we'll know when we hit it. Simply put, that'll be a good tell. Alright, there are question marks on my map, as well as other things. What is that? Straight ahead of me. There's a question mark over there as well, behind me. Well, more to the point. Yeah, the story's been set, the scene has been set, and we're allowed to explore again. And more to the point, for the first time. Open world time it is. Wait, you get to fast travel for free if you're at a campfire? What? That's so good. I should do a manual save, I guess. Alright, out into the world we go. I don't know where I'm heading first, really. There's too many locations. If I just head along this way, what? It's all the way up there? Let's find out what a question mark place is. First and foremost. So they've overrun.
I'm out of this ammo.
I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure I need your bits. Also, they run less. That's the closest I could possibly get to it before. I was surprised it wasn't trying to leg it when I got close. Okay. Let's find my gloriously beautiful way. Is that a thing? What? So that's how we...
Save this for a dyer.
Does climbing bits now? This is interesting. So they've actually made the handholds more natural via this versus like yellow markers that used to be there. Quite interesting when you think about it. Definitely the better way to go about it. We take the goodies first. What's the signal tower? I'm assuming.
This place has seen better days.
Come on, you can grab the X bits before you can go up these. There you go. Discovered a blocked path.
I don't think I can get past them. Guess I should leave it for now.
What do you mean?
Can't get rid of the vines. Not yet, anyway.
Special gear required to clear to get a metal flower? Well, that confirms a lot. Okay. I mean, the blight itself confirmed it, really, to begin with. As it was, but... How do I make it up there? There we go. Maybe I can still climb the rest of the signal tower? Interesting that I just can't straight up collect the collectibles once I see them. There's more to it. I guess it's marked on the map for me, so it's all fine there, but... No clue why I'm really even climbing this when you think about it.
Some kind of device. The metal reflects the sun. Send a signal?
Cool and all. What do I actually do with it? I take the lens of morning.
Looks like some kind of lens. Guess I'll keep it for later.
Dome-shaped piece of glass that refracts light. Recovered from a Karhn signal tower northeast of Chainscrape. So I take it these vines do nothing to me. I just cannot literally take it. So that makes me wonder, is it even worth me exploring? Just yet. If you get me. Block path, missing tool needed. At least it tells me I didn't get it as well. Like, you found it, but you didn't get it. I might head straight towards Chainscrape then for now. You didn't authorize exploring, indeed. The big Adam Malkovich.
Chainscrape. Drew said I could get my bow upgraded in there. I'd be able to tinker with my other gear, too.
Yes. I seem to need stuff. Here's some bigger stem and bitter leaf, yada yada.
Cook should know what to do with this.
Hey, side quests! Now, where's the door? Okay, I guess I'm supposed to take the bridge like a normal person. That doesn't sound very exciting now, does it? Hello. What's this? Green shine sliver. I mean, I'll take the thing. I have no clue what it was, but I'll take it.
Outlander approaching. Is that the Savior? Wanna come in, Savior?
Yeah, I do, but I've got a tutorial and I can't see you anymore. In all over the world, green shine can be used for upgrading certain weapons and outfits or trading with specific merchants.
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jor's orders.
Good enough for me.
By the Forge.
Petra?
Aloy, what are you doing here? About time there was something worth looking at in this dump.
It's nice to see you, too.
And not a moment too soon. Come on. Damn brewery's the only thing I can count on in this place.
Yeah, I heard. Machines, work stoppage.
Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chainscrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him,
Yeah.
but he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh,
There's an embassy at Barren Light I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flamehair, good to see you. You've got to move on.
Petra.
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
Well, this Olvan guy sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
Thank you for subscribing with your Prime for the 27th month. As we're just like, we really need to go to the pub right now and spend some time with Petra because, come on! Aloy needs to social. Like, super duper, please. Aloy, go social, please.
Looking sharp as ever.
Is this the pub? Oh yeah. Hey guys. Where's Petra? Cool. Well, we've got a quest here with Milduf.
Hey, Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals. No trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they liked my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
I don't know who was being sarcastic and who wasn't.
Just need to hunt for some wild meat and grab a metal panel from a scrounger pile.
I mean, where's Petra? There's quite a lot of people in here. Assuming the Petra is in here. Hey, kiddo. Something's up there, that's for sure. I'm here for libations. Let me libate. You're not Petra. Who are you? What are you? Why do you have a symbol on your head but not let me talk to you? Herbalist, remedies. Well, I can't talk to him. Maybe I will be able to in the future. I don't know. Petra? What's going on back here? The campfire over there, I know that much. Maybe she's not even here. The only person you can scan that comes up. It's Salma. Petra!
Aloy.
Hey, Ray.
Can't see you. You're purple.
Fancy a game of strike?
Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
Ha! There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Ulvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table!
Nipples too.
Don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take him down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Olvind was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could Bristlebacks and the Daunt help Olvind?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Olvind has taken to blaming the Karja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back. But realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So about Olvind.
Around here, everything's about Olvind.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Olvind?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Olvind has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
We're successfully trying to friends. What?
Even the savior of Meridian needs a challenge. Play some Strike.
Shall I play a minigame?
Come to revel in some Strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win at all my boards, too.
Oh no, we could be here for some time. What even is this? It's quite a lot of tutorials. You get rewards, and you get skill points for winning? Cool. Well, you have to tell me how to play the game first. 64 wood? I don't even know. What? Yeah. Tutorial.
All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner?
Yes.
That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward.
They're both in the center, sure.
And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder.
I don't want to move it there. Sounds bad if I move it there, because if they can attack one space forward, then I can get attacked.
Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine.
Oh, you're just getting me getting attack range for everything, are you?
There's not much else
Cheating.
to do for now, so just end your turn.
Overcharge, minus 2 HP.
We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here.
She's mean. She's just gonna attack me, right?
And we're back to you.
Okay, she's just gonna let me attack
Why
her.
don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first.
So you're getting me to attack the bear. Okay, she's not that mean.
Now move the piece close enough
No,
to attack
why would I
one of
move
my
there?
machines.
There's a big red thing, like at the back, that looks like I'm supposed to attack
When
that.
performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that?
Yes, I can see numbers.
Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours.
I mean, ideally, I want to place it behind.
See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine?
Yeah.
You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out.
But it costs 2 HP.
Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now,
Why would I do that?
players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick.
It's attacking the back.
That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece.
Okay, I'm pressing
You've
it.
already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, and by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean.
I have to rotate it first. Help. There we go.
Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
Aloy did not seem into it, but tutorial complete. So now I can actually just play the game as well if I want to. A special will get me a bristleback strike piece.